Yeah. What up? You already know what it is, man. The Stacks with the Facts coming at y'all. Y'all know it's A Real Talk Podcast. How y'all doing today, man? You already seen the title of today's show is Mental Health Continued, man. And today, I got a special guest. Her name is Karen Franklin, and she's a military vet, and she's been working in the mental health field for a number of years. And, you know, I just did a little episode on this a couple days ago. And now I'm getting somebody on who works in the actual field to give y'all, you know, a little more in-depth perspective on what's going on. I got a series of questions I'm about to ask her. And we're going to see what she got to say. First, we're just going to have Karen introduce herself, give her a brief introduction to who she is, what her history and background is in her field, in the mental health field, and then we're going to get into these questions. So without further ado, I'll let Ms. Franklin do her thing.
My name's Karen Franklin. I'm a 10-year veteran from the Navy. I have a college degree in education, mental health, chemical dependency, and MRDD. I've been working with children since 97, late 97, early 98. I've been at the same preschool since 2007, so I've seen a lot of children grow from infancy to teenage years, and they come back and see me often. My specialty is autism and children with mental illness and children with learning disabilities.
Right. So now we got a little bit of Karen's background. We're going to get into these questions. Now, recently, what was it just passed last week when they did the voting, the Child Protection Services tax levy, when that just passed not too long ago, last week, when they did the voting, the child, whatever. Anyway, we're going to get into these questions. The first question I got is, do Columbus residents actually benefit from mental health services, and how?
I honestly feel like it depends on the type of health care that particular person has or has access to. And if you are like private pay, you can have a bigger, choices as far as what kind of health care you can get as far as like mental illness or getting care inside of the city. When you are like no mental health care, you have no care as far as like Care Source or Medicaid or anything like that. I think that your options are messed up, and because of that, I feel like people don't reach out into the community or reach out for help for mental health issues because they're afraid that they are going to be seen as, somebody that's low income and won't get that quality of care, and they'll get that judgment they already fear by coming into a situation like that. It's a lot of children start out early with mental health issues. You can see it when they're growing up. It comes from different aspects of their life, and so as you look at those things, you tend not to look at the red flags, and because they start early, you don't get the care that you need, that child needs in order for them to grow and be the best that they can be. So I think it starts when they're young, and I think as they grow older, they begin to judge themselves because there is an issue there. And I think that, with that issue being there, they don't address it. The parent doesn't know how to address it. They don't know how to look at it as a mental illness. They don't look at it as a learning disability or anything that would make that child seem like that they're less than.
Right.
So as they grow, I think that, they become young adults or they become older adults, they get afraid to reach out into the community and get the help that they need in because it's not out there.
Right.
Their choices aren't there.
Right. So basically, what I'm hearing you saying is that services are available, but to certain people, during how the system is set up, they're not able to take advantage of what's available due to where they may live or what type of income they are able to afford or whatever.
Right.
And yeah. So, okay. So let's get into the next question. What role does the pharmaceutical industry play from your perspective in all of this?
I think the pharmaceutical company is big business.
Right.
And it's about business to them. I don't think that they look at the person as a person. Some people might need a med. A lot of us don't. All of us need to address some issues in our life, but it's a lot of people that can't deal with those things. And sometimes it causes them to need a Medicaid or need medicine. But I think a lot of the issues that we have as far as mental health is behavior.
Right.
And how to redirect ourselves.
Right.
What's the best behavior to stop this behavior?
Cognitive behavior therapies, type like that.
Right. And I think the pharmaceutical company just numbs the people. You're just walking around like zombies. You know, they have nothing, no energy, no thought process, no focus or anything to try to, better themselves, to look at mental illness as an illness, but a functional illness like diabetes or something like high blood pressure. If you take your medicine, you can be focused and do those things. But the pharmaceutical company is about money.
Right. Basically, the pharmaceutical company is there just to make a profit, and they really, instead of focusing on spending money on medicating people and curing people, they should focus on healing people with behavior therapy and getting to the emotional side of it, because this stuff goes back to childhood. We need to put programs that focus on that versus just medicating and people turning people into zombies and stuff, because nobody benefits from that, especially the kids.
But just look at the opiate epidemic. You know what I'm saying? Just think about, that part of it. Can you imagine how many people deal with mental illness, not so much stuck on drugs, but just have mental illnesses, and they out here popping these pills, you know what I'm saying? They making big money, and people are walking around like that. It's a lot of people numb to, pharmaceuticals, but it's some pharmaceuticals out there that do help people to get focused.
All right. Facts. Y'all see them out here every day, out west, up Cleveland Avenue, everywhere. Sullivan, West Broad, everywhere. Crazy. Let's get to this next question. What role does social media play in the advocacy of mental health awareness from your perspective, working in the field?
I think that social media plays a big part in how people think of themselves. I think that they put an image up of a mask. I think that they are something that they're not.
Right.
And I think that people's perspective of them is exactly where they at as far as how they feeling about themselves. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I think that people get a bad interpretation of who a person really is through social media.
Right.
It's some people crying out for help out there on social media, and they're not. People are seeing them as being sad, bitter, mad, when they really just crying out for somebody. I think in a way social media could be a good thing, and I think social media can be a bad thing, but
I think with social media, is strategically designed to promote stuff like that. The way the whole click with the like, that's Pavlovian. That's like behavior modification. That's like, ooh, like, and then what she just said, none of this is real. That's the thing we got to get to. None of this is real, y'all, man. All this stuff on social media or persona, nobody uses their real name, really. Anybody does. And when it comes to the mental health, y'all see everybody posting all day, oh, I wish somebody would, and it's taken away from people who really suffering, and everybody want to take advantage and play a victim just to have attention and stuff. And it's taking away, the validation from people who really are suffering out here. You know what I'm saying? And do we get stuff like people killing themselves on live and shit like that? You know what I mean? When motherfuckers out here clowning and shit, just want some attention and just doing anything for somebody to give them a like. That's fucking terrible. Now we're going to get to this final question, man. And I just want to know what Karen's response going to be to this question. All right, how has the incorporation of UN Agenda 2030 global sustainability protocols influenced local mental health policies?
More pharmaceutical drugs gonna probably be introduced.
Right.
And less family support, less early education as far as mental illness. I think that everything will be everybody's medicated or like insane asylums. I really feel like that they're gonna go back to that.
Insane asylums. You say from your experience in the field, what you see currently as the reshaping of the industry, basically, is you seeing they're implementing funds into building like mental health facilities
or like outpatient programs for drugs, but
right.
I think it'll be more so mental health situations.
Right. So it's like it's going to be little treatment centers all in the neighborhoods to where, okay, now she just said that. That brings to my mind a movie called Equilibrium. It's a movie starring Taye Diggs, Christian Bale, Angus McFadden. Who else plays in that movie? I can't think of the name, but if you ain't never seen this movie, it's a movie called Equilibrium. It's a dystopian movie set in the not too distant future where they eradicated human emotion so they could have control of society, so people wouldn't be like doing all the crazy shit we doing right now, because they say human emotion is the cause of everything that's going on now. So they created a drug called EC10, which kept people from feeling emotions, and everybody had to dose up at the same time. Y'all check that movie out. It's on YouTube. But basically, this is what the plan is through UN Agenda 2030. See, a lot of people don't even know about this stuff, or maybe you might have heard about UN Agenda 2030. But this is something that's going on all over the world. To the local, I'm talking about this is to the local aspect now. This is being implemented through the local levels of society, to where what we're going to be seeing in our communities is we're going to be seeing what they're going to be calling re-education centers. Just like Karen said, little area, not so much as the building the new facilities, but the using the old facilities where people can come and get more access to drugs, namely drugs for mental health. Now pay attention to how we being kind of like coached into thinking we all got mental health issues and shit. Wasn't it just mental health awareness month that just passed last month? If I'm not mistaken. So yeah, so I got another question I want to ask Karen too. So what's the pros and the cons of working in the mental health field?
The cons are definitely seeing people constantly getting on meds. 1, 2, 3, 4 meds at a time and still being unhappy. The pros is actually seeing where someone who's had mental illness, dealt with mental illness, is living a happy life and functioning and doesn't have that weight on their shoulders.
Right.
So
that's a beautiful thing. So yeah, you already know what it is, man. I want to thank Karen for coming on one time, man. That was a beautiful conversation. I appreciate that. And you already know what it is, man. I told you we're going to bring the raw, uncut info to y'all, man. All perspectives. We got to get everybody's opinion so we can get a wide view of what we're talking about, what's going on, so we can have a deeper perspective and make a good decision for ourselves. You already know what it is with me, Miss A Real Talk Podcast. Stacks with the facts. You already know what it is, man. Y'all can get with me on Instagram at berry.virgil. BERRY.VIRGIL. That's all lowercase letters. Get with me on Twitter at capital BERRY, the number 2, capital VIRGIL. And you can get with me on Facebook. You already know, just type Virgil Berry in the search engine. Y'all gonna see me with that Benny the Butcher fitted on. Just get at me. You already know what it is, man. A Real Talk Podcast. Sorry for being a little bit late, but y'all know, man, time is of the essence. And as always, man, don't ever believe nothing I'm saying, man. Do your own research. Don't trust nothing. Don't believe nothing I'm saying. Question everything. You know what I mean? Because you only going to know what you know until you figure it out for yourself, man. With that being said, man, we signing off tonight. Y'all have a good evening, man. We'll see y'all next time, man. Holla back.